Now here I have a layout of our game where a title screen, a main menu, get words, check the words are valid. If they aren't, go back and get more words. Otherwise, eventually show the story. Once the story is done, go back to the main menu, and we can choose another story, or we can quit. So I'm going to start by building this type of loop inside our main game. So we're going to start off by showing the title screen. So let's go to our madlibs.py, and let's add this. So we're going to start off by when we're going to make a function called def madlibs. That's our main function. It's going to do everything. And I'm going to add an argument called debug. And by default, it's going to be false. This way, I can check to see if we're debugging, and I can print some information. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently than before. So I'm going to if, and we're going to check the value of debug. And in a single line, which seems weird, but I don't really want to spend a lot of space on this. I want to sort of sit out of the way on my program because it's out of the way most of the time. I'm going to print welcome to debug. And at this point, I'm also going to write my first line, which is Madlibs. And I'm going to call it true initially, just to prove that it works. If I execute this program, we should see it pops up. It says, welcome to debug. The program works. Let's take and display the title screen. So we're going to print title screen. And we're past that debug. Now, unfortunately, this isn't written yet, but we're going to write this function, and we're going to write it inside of our screen's file. So our first thing is going to be def title screen. And I want to print like a nice looking title screen, and we're going to do this by returning a nice string that's formatted for our screen. So debug equals false, so by default it doesn't. We're going to say print if debug print title screen function. Oh, and I have to close that quotes. Now there we go. And we're going to return. We're going to say s is equal to empty string. Actually, we're going to fill it with some dashes. And I know my standard console is 80 by 20, so I'm going to actually make this 20 dashes. So that would be, I'm at column 9 right now. I'm going to go to 89. Quote. And s plus equal, so we're going to add on to that string. And we have to do what's called a carriage return to make sure this ends the line. And I'm going to add a space here. That space doesn't affect anything, but it'll help everything line up and make it a little easier. I'm going to put a pipe and a bunch of spaces. A pipe, \n. And before I go anything further, let's test this out. So this is going to return s. So anything that's put in here is going to get returned to this and then drawn up by here. I'm going to hit save all and I'm going to execute it. And we have a problem with debug not defined. So in line 16, right here. So line 16, which is actually in line 2 title screen. So let's go look at title screens. And I misspelled debug. I called debuff. I want debug, save, and let's execute this code again. And it looks okay, except there's too many spaces here. I'm going to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those characters. This probably my font's a little big, but I'd rather do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's save that, and let's run again and see if that looks better. One more character on both lines. And that looks pretty good. maybe one more line on the screen. Oh, I have to make sure I'm on Madlibs when I execute the program. And that looks pretty good. Actually, I'm going to remove one line here and one line there. Let's try one last time. Nope, gotta be a Madlibs.py. That looks pretty good. I'm now going to take and copy this line and write a quick title screen so I can end this video. And I'm going to copy this line again. And I'm going to save this, and let's see what that looks like. Oh, I need to make sure it's plus equal, otherwise it clobbers the entire string. And we got a nice little text box. I'm also going to now take, and I'm going to click on the insert key on my keyboard so I can now write Madlibs by Chris Spooner. Now the reason I did insert mode off so is that this will push off me the backspace each time. But I did make a mistake. I had the backspace, which meant this is now off by a character. So I'm going to hit insert again and hit space. I'm going to save, and let's take a look at this and see how it looks. I now have a nice title screen. It looks really good. I can now take, and that's the end of this video.